as the supercommittee announced it was deadlocked, Wall Street was wrapping up a day of big losses. Some market analysts, though, say there is actually more on investors' minds than just the size of the U.S. budget deficit and that failure of the supercommittee. Joining us this morning is Mark Zandi. He's chief economist at Moody's Analytics. Mark, always good to have you with us. So give us a sense. A lot of what we're reading this morning, too, says this isn't necessarily seen as a disaster for the markets. In some ways, it had been priced in, or the economy, but it is a significant warning. What is the warning sign that this sends out?
Well, we have to address our fiscal problems, and if we don't address them, then at some point global investors are going to have a problem with this, and they're going to stop buying our bonds. Our interest rates are going to rise. That's going to push stock prices down. It's going to affect the ability of businesses to create jobs. So to me, what we lost here was a golden opportunity to really make some progress. We're going to have more opportunities, but not too many more, and if we don't take one of those, we're going to lose our opportunity, and global investors are going to force change on us, and we really don't want that.
When you say force change, what do you mean by that?
Well, they're going to raise the interest rates like in Europe. You can see in Europe now that investors are very nervous about buying the bonds of Italy, of Spain, even countries like France. So interest rates are starting to rise, and so this is putting very significant pressure on those governments to make very large changes very quickly. They've lost control of their own fiscal situation, and that's what will happen to us if we don't take one of these opportunities. Now, we've got a lot more room than the Europeans. Our economy is stronger, it's growing, we've got a lot of opportunity, but at some point we're going to have to take one of these opportunities and run with it.
Sure, some room, but as you pointed out, that room is not going to exist for very long.
No.
There have been some suggestions this morning, though, of there being a silver lining here, that it could actually, enforcing some of these cuts, could force those tough cuts that, frankly, nobody wants to be responsible for. Is that the upside?
Well, that's a good point. Under current law, if policymakers do nothing, then we are going to get automatic spending cuts, $1.2 trillion worth over 10 years beginning in 2013. Of course, the crux of the matter is, will Congress try to take that back next year? And will they force the hand of the president to take some of that back? If they do, then this becomes a problem. But under current law, if they stick to it, then yeah, we'll get those cuts.
A lot of Americans look at this as a sign of a larger problem in Washington. As we know, 84% the disapproval rating for Congress in the latest CBS New York Times poll. Looking ahead, how big is this window of potential opportunity to get something done, do you think, in terms of the economy and the situation that we're in right now? How soon does there have to be action?
Well, I think there has to be action between now and early 2013, because that's when the spending cuts, the automatic spending cuts kick in, and also the Bush tax cuts expire at the end of 2012. So everyone's tax rates are going to rise in a very significant way in 2013. So we need to make some changes between now and then. Otherwise, we could have a problem.
I only have time for a yes or no. Do you think it can happen?
Yeah, I do. I'm
okay.
optimistic.
All right. We'll take it. Mark, nice to have you with us this morning. Thanks.